Hey, welcome everyone. Music Scene Investigation on the air. Rich Wildman here. Glad you're with us. It is Sunday, of course. You know what that means. That means we've got restart the intro. No, that means that we've got
Wouldn't
three new.
surprise me.
I did actually. I didn't mean to. And that means we got three new songs going under the microscope today. Just want to let you know up front, if you do experience any issues with the live video stream, you can, of course, always tune in to Music Scene Investigation on the radio, MSI Radio, and we're broadcasting there live as well. So you can pick us up on there, and hopefully you won't experience any of the same issue. Well, you definitely won't experience video dropouts because we're not doing video. Well, you understand it's radio, no video. Never mind. All right.
Yeah, I've heard you've got a great face for radio.
I do, Tom. I do. I really do. My face is perfect for radio. And according to your video, yours is as well. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Coffee, of course. Do you take any? I've never asked you this. Do you take anything in your coffee?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would. Do you like put all your meds in the coffee and then drink them all down at
Tramadol.
once?
Occasionally, but then the room just turns different colors, so I don't like it.
All right. Well, that's the way it works, I guess. I don't know. And Ian, I suppose you're here as well, I've heard.
No.
No, no. All right. Ian's not. Tommy wasn't here in the pre-show chat. He said he wasn't in the chat room anyway. He was. He called me. I didn't call him. I don't know how that works. I thought I had that figured out once and I could block him, but I can't. So anyway, Tommy,
No, I'm not here.
how the heck are you all in New York and everything?
It's hot. I'm great. Last Friday, we went to the 40th, oh my God, reunion of my high school graduation. And it's amazing how some people stay the same and some people change tremendously over the years. And, you know, you go to the 10th or your 20th and everybody's having a great time. Now you get to the 40th and it's like, you know, what part have you lost? But still, it was a great time. A lot of old friends, great liquor, bad music, good food.
Yeah, knowing you, you probably sat there the whole night and critiqued the music and told the DJ, yeah, this needs to have a little bit more bass. This got too more space and all that stuff. Yeah.
I really, you know, when I go out and some of my friends are playing live and stuff, they always ask me how it sounds, and I always say, sounds fine, because I really don't care. It's not mine.
Well, you know, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it, and you know, at least you're there to do it, right?
Well, if it sounds really bad, I'll tell people, like,
Yeah.
you're giving me a haircut or the mid-range is killing me or something.
All right. Well, it's good to see you again, as always, Tommy, and it's always great to have you here. Ian Husbands is in London, England. He's not here yet, but we got this other guy standing in. His video is not very good either, but anybody who comes in, we'll put on video. It's all cool. Hey, Ian, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad, except for this whole streaming thing. I still think we should be a radio show.
I still think you need to move out of corn country and get a better broadband service,
That would probably help a lot, yeah.
personally. I mean, not too much to ask, is it?
Yeah, actually, it is, but, I've done stranger things. You know this.
We can't talk about them live on air, though. Yeah, it's been a busy week for me.
It has. Well, do tell. Tell us all about it.
Well, I've had two videos go out this week. A video I've done for a guy called Miles Ehrlich with his song Girls in Stolen Cars.
Girls in stolen cars. It's about girls in stolen cars, I would guess.
Well done. Well done. Yes, that was good. But no, I've done a lyric video for him. He's got a great voice and it's a great song, so go check that out. And we've got a video of our own with an original song called Follow Me out there as well, and a Legomation video to go with it. So if you fancy a bit of Lego action, go and check that out as well.
You are becoming fast the master of all things Lego, according to what I see out on Twitter and the videos and stuff like that are happening.
I have a 6-year-old son. It has to be like that.
Well, I've noticed recently when you go to upload on YouTube, I just put a new video up there. There is now, when you put in tag words, there is specifically, just because of Ian, Lego in one of the tag choices.
Just because of me, that is. And also, I'm playing a gig on Saturday over at VW Action, and I'm going to be dressed as a zombie.
As a zombie?
A zombie apocalypse gig. We've even, as a band, learnt the Monster Mash, so that's going to be
now? Can you describe this this whole zombie gig you're going to be wearing? Is it like got an axe in your head? I mean,
no,
what can we look forward to here?
I've bought a T-shirt which shows that I can open chest cavity with all the ribs and blood and gore, and I've also got like a little belt which has kind of got guts hanging on it. So what I do is I put a T-shirt on and a shirt over the top and this belt with the guts hanging out underneath.
Are there any cuts of raw meat involved in this get-up you're wearing? I mean...
Not in mine, but I think the bass player's got something in store for us.
I was going to say maybe a couple of pork chops, maybe, I don't know, bacon, perhaps?
Yeah, throw it out to the audience.
Bacon, I think, would be a great zombie costume.
Bacon.
If you could make it to the stage alive.
I'm not saying cooked bacon by any means. I'm just saying, just even leave it in the plastic wrapping and it'll be fine.
You've got a very strange idea of what a zombie is, Rich.
I've never seen a zombie. I'm sorry.
I've never seen a zombie, but I have on TV.
I've seen a TV. Now, I've seen TVs. Those are those square things.
You've got them out in Corn Country now.
They have them, yeah.
I mean, you only got electricity, last year?
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Ian, you've got some statistics for us from last week's show. Last week, if you'll remember, everybody, we had Eddie Nashton along with Jennifer Westwood and Pete Jackson on the broadcast. Of course, Pete Jackson's song Rotterdam was selected by our panelists as Song of the Week. But what did the witness statements say, Ian?
Well, they were mainly in agreement with us. I mean, it was a tough week last week. We had 3 very good songs. And for songwriting, 80% of our voters agreed with us, which is good.
That is good.
For performance, 60% of our audience agreed with us on song 3. But when it came down to mix and production, they disagree with us. 67% of the people disagree with us.
And what did they select? What did they say?
They went for Dishwater Blonde by Jennifer Westwood.
Really?
2. They did, yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I remember correctly, the panel kind of thought that was an over-compressed song, didn't they?
Yeah, well, there were mixed issues with all of them, but that one really, the girl had a really nice voice, and they had over-compressed it like it was like a potato chip. You could just hear it crack and crumble.
Yeah, that's
not according to our audience.
Not according to, well, the customer is always right, as they say.
Except when they're wrong.
What?
Except when they're wrong.
Are you saying, Ian, that the audience was wrong and that the panel was right?
Well, I have this theory, you see.
All right, let's all wait. Let's all just sit back and let Ian expound on his theory here.
Well, my theory is, okay, as a graphic designer, I witnessed this as well. People come to me as a graphic designer, for example, and ask me to design them something because I have studied and learnt my trade as a graphic designer to be able to do that for them. But then they tell me it's not what they want, and this is what they want, and you end up producing something that's, in my mind, and in a lot of people's minds, rubbish. So,
but the customer's happy, though, right?
The customer's happy,
yeah, but then it comes right back to you
opinion.
if they're not.
That's right. You see, so they're not listening to my opinion. So the customer was wrong.
I get it. I understand, I think. As long as they agree with your opinion, they're fine.
That's right.
They're wrong. That's right. Let's move on. We have a show to go. Hey. Come on, guys.
All right. Let's meet our guest.
Tommy, you're wrong.
Our guest panelist today on the broadcast, everyone. He's been with us a couple of times before. His first appearance on the broadcast was back in May of 2013. A sound engineer and an audio producer. He was. I'm not sure if he still is. We'll have to find this out. Was with BigFish Media, which is a voiceover agency for those of you interested. He's also worked audio for a lot of bands and has a background in sound design. Let's welcome back, everyone, Mr. James Anderson. James, welcome back to the broadcast, sir. Glad to have you.
Hi there, I'm thrilled to be back on the show again. Thanks for inviting me, and I'm beginning to theorise that I've probably been invited on this show because I'm so critical, just from what Ian's been saying a moment ago.
As long as you agree with Ian, I think it's all golden anyway, as far as what he says.
Yeah, I think we're all safe as long as we agree with Ian.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sorry, James, you're wrong.
In which case, I'll take back what I said.
You're right.
Yeah, if you're wrong, if Ian says you're wrong, that really means you're right. So it's all good.
Yeah, I fear there could be some weird colluding going on here. So I better take my original stance of having my own opinion. So it's fair for everyone.
Well, we're definitely glad you have your own opinion. Now, let me ask you the question. Are you still with BigFish Media?
I am very much so. In fact, we've been doing a lot of international work lately. Providing voiceover for top secret stuff, border control, training modules. And it's all been in Arabic, which has been very interesting.
That is interesting. Now, if I can ask, is any of this work for the U.S.? And is the text of the border control script, "Hey, y'all, come on in"? Just curious.
Yes to the first, and not quite to the second.
Oh, it wasn't. They didn't use the "Hey, y'all." They just said, "Hey, welcome, come in."
Well, they used American English before the translation, so that's effectively good enough.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry, I had to ask that question. Now, when one of the last times we had you on, we talked about your record collection. I want to find out from you because I know you're big and huge into record collecting. And I have an uncle who recently passed within the last 5 years or so. He was big into record collecting as well. In your record collection, what would you consider to be some of your most favored items?
Wow, well, as a matter of fact, I don't have a massive record collection. I've sold a lot of records over the years, and I keep a small core to myself that's about 200 to 300 units. Amongst those are many test pressings, a lot of progressive rock, and just generally stuff I like to play that may not necessarily be expensive. But I've had some very interesting stuff over the years, including test pressings and Rolling Stones demos, all kinds of stuff.
So I guess it's kind of true then that a favorite of any collector's is those things that he uses or can listen to in this case.
Oh, definitely. I think that I take a preferential stance on things that I'd rather play rather than things that are worth a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I don't collect records. I collect, I guess, computer systems, and I only keep the ones I use, I guess.
Exactly. But I'm kind of steering away from, this is going to sound very sinful, I'm steering away from listening to music on analog platforms. I'm listening to a lot more digital than I used to. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just ease of and convenience over anything else.
I think this kind of makes sense. The way
I used to be purely analog, but now I've expanded into other realms.
Yeah, I mean, I think, based upon at least the information I have in your bio, your record collecting kind of leads me to believe you're moving that way or have moved that way, as you said, because you started in the 60s with progressive rock, got into quadraphonic audio and so forth and so on. So you've been hugging that technology curve throughout your collecting career. This is a
yeah,
good
there's
move.
definitely an evolution happening. So maybe I'll start listening to modern music.
So are you leaning towards any type of playback method with your digital audio? I mean, I know that there are a number of different portable digital audio playback devices. I mean, you've got the iPod, your iPhone, or your digital phone or whatever the case is, do you have any preferred method or piece of equipment to
I'd
play
say
back
that
with?
my preferred platform is definitely Spotify. I'm a big fan of that because it always sends me updates for things I like to listen to. So I find that's a good way of uncovering music that I like.
And
that's a good platform, definitely.
I guess what then? I guess this question has to be asked. If Spotify is your preferred, what is the method out of those digital delivery systems that you dislike the most?
The methods that I dislike the most? Well, that's a very good question. The thing I tend to dislike the most is the actual sound quality overall. If I'm going to listen to music properly, I want to listen to it on a physical analog format. Obviously, you can get really good high quality downloads now, but I can tell the difference. Some of the algorithms for some of the delivery methods are better than others. I'm not saying they're bad, but you can tell.
James, I'm just noticing that when I mix, and it's really sad, it used to be interesting when, everybody got excited, you finished the mix, and you either listen back really loud in the studio or the guys run out to their car and put it in, the car CD or cassette back in the day. But now everybody just sits down and listens to it on their iPods, iPads, or phones or whatever with these tiny little headphones that cannot really, provide
they
peak
can't
frequency.
reproduce properly.
Yeah.
I think it's also a really antisocial way of listening to music as well. There's less opportunity of, obviously you can share music over social networking, but I think if you've got the physical product, you can, as you say, jump in your car or invite your friends around and play it over the speakers. It's totally different.
That's very true, and there are a lot of people today who even go so far as to say the earbud audio is nowhere close in the way of quality reproduction as speakers, obviously, or other even over-ear headphones.
That's true, and there's a lot of companies out there that try to sort of con you into thinking that small earbuds they're high quality. There's loads of manufacturers out there that charge a fortune for some of them, and you just kind of wonder, is the technology in these earpieces any better than your sort of basic ones?
Yeah, Ian, you were saying something?
Just doesn't work.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ian.
You guys need to go and check out a documentary that's just been done called The Distortion of Sound. And it's been produced by Harman, the audio gear manufacturers. And they interview people like Quincy Jones, Snoop Dogg, Hans Zimmer, who else we got? Kate Nash, Neil Strauss, and people like this who are, actually in the industry working hard and doing stuff. It all talks about this sort of thing, the quality of MP3s and the compression rates we put in things on. I'm going to put the link in the chat now, but go and check it out.
That sounds like an excellent documentary.
22 minutes of your life that you'll be happy you sat down and watched.
All right.
Thank you, brother Ian.
It's all right.
All right. Well, we'll find out. Somebody bookmark that for me and send it to me, and we'll take a look at it. All right, James. Some of these other top secret projects you're working on besides the "Hey y'all, come on in." I could have done that for you, by the way.
There's less border control stuff. There's also something bubbling under at the moment, which I'm hopefully going to be part of. I've just been rehearsing a lot with a band called the Shakespeare's Heptet, who sing Shakespeare sonnets over the top of folk and blues music.
Wow.
So hopefully I'll be playing clarinet with them very soon. We've already got a gig sorted at the end of September on a boat in Shoreham.
Now, that's an interesting idea. I think that's a very interesting idea. Tom?
I was going to say, clarinet gives me, big band era, Jimmy Dorsey type of stuff, little licks like that over, "Oh, come thee now through yonder window break."
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fusion, and the clarinet adds, as you say, a jazz edge to it, which I don't think the band leader originally expected, but it's certainly going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to our first gig.
Absolutely. I wish you the best of luck with that. Now, you're going to have to keep us updated on that. Is there a website that we and our viewers might be able to go to be able to find out more about this
Yes,
potential?
there is a Facebook page, and I think that it's just Shakespeare's Heptet, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm not overly... Well, I don't use Facebook a great deal, but I know that there's a page out there.
Now, is it also...
I'll try and find that in the meantime.
All right, well, that'd be very cool. That'd be pretty awesome, I think. Now, of course, people can go to your company website over there at bigfishmedia.co.uk to find out more about what they do, and maybe even find out a way to get in touch with you through that page as well. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's possible. My email address through the company is james@bigfishmedia.co.uk. So if anybody has any queries or if any hate mail wants to be directed my way, I'm game to receive it.
We make sure all the hate mail is sent to Tom. That's fine. That's not a problem.
Or if it gets posted on our chat page.
I couldn't hear what either one of you said there. You were both talking at the same time, but that's okay.
In all fairness,
yeah.
Tom makes sure all the hate mail gets sent to him.
He does. And it's not necessarily on purpose either. Sometimes he does it entirely by mistake. It's okay, Tom. It's fine.
It's okay, but let's go. Let's get on to the music, huh?
See what I mean? I tell you. All right. Well, let's do that. Let's get on to the music then and find out exactly what you guys think of the music that we're going to be hearing today. And I'm sure that everybody in the audience is ready to hear some great music as well. So to get things started off, we have song number 1 on the program today. All right, here it is, everyone. This is song number 1 on today's Music Scene Investigation. Enjoy it, everyone.
Right behind
song number 1 on the broadcast today. We're going to go over, find out what our panelists think. Of course, we're starting with Ian. Ian, your thoughts on track number 1?
Okay, this is a demo. This does need a lot of work. I mean, let's start with the drums. Drums were just a very simply programmed, and you know, with drum software the way it is these days, for very little money, you can get some very realistic sounding drums with a lot more patterns and feels and styles that you can, you know, preset into the software you can use for setting up a track like this. You know, it sounds like the bass player on this track actually kind of knows what he's doing. So playing some few nice bits and pieces there, but he had very little to work with because the drums were so flat and one-dimensional, and they didn't move anywhere, didn't go anywhere. And you're not setting a very good scope for a bass player to play against there when it's just tap, 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 tap. So, I mean, there's a song here that I think needs a lot of development. The woman singing's got quite a good voice. Didn't like the reverb on that. Did feel it was set back in the mix. And was longing for some backing vocals, some harmonies, more, you know, to build that up, to give the track some dynamic, to sort of indicate where the chorus is changing the verse is changing into the chorus and vice versa. The biggest problem for this was the guitars for me. The tuning sounded flat, and the playing was not very well in time and very, very basic. And again, you've got this track where you've got such a simple backbeat and simple bass line that you're not really encouraging anyone playing guitar to do any more than just strum along. So I think you've got a demo here. I think there's a song that needs some development. You know, spend some money. Visit people like TuneTrack and get Easy Drummer 2. It costs about €119, which isn't a lot of money in the grand scheme of things for the software that and the sounds that you get with that. And, you know, once you've got them drums developed, then you can start allowing the musicians who are playing the rest of the stuff over the top to start developing their parts a bit more. And then get some backing vocals down, get them vocals tight and sat nicely, and you've got the start of a good demo.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ian. I appreciate your thoughts on that. Now over to Tom Chianti to find out what he thinks. Tommy, what are you thinking of track number 1?
Well, I agree with Ian about it being a demo, but it also reminds me of something from Kate Bush around 70s, post-Woodstock era. And, you know, so it's that plus a little bit of punk, really, and on the vocal in this Bear version. So you can, even with this Bear, you can make something from it because there is a good song there. I like the chord changes, don't like the guitar sounds, and I agree with Ian about the drumming. It's if they just, you know, had changes and stuff, it would have been good. The female singer has got an interesting quality to her voice. So there's a lot of good stuff here. I mean, it's obviously a demo because there's 16 bars of nothing in the middle instead of a middle 8. They need to fill that up either with a solo and more, or go in a completely different direction with background vocals and a little bit of harmonies. I'd keep it a little edgy because of her voice. I wouldn't want to fill it up too much. You know, simplistic, hard, and edgy on this would really push it. And bring my vocal up, the guitars down, and try to get a real drummer or different samples or whatever. But this has got a lot of good possibilities.
All right, Tommy, I appreciate your thoughts as well. I just want to let everybody know we had to get James back on. His call dropped. I must be having some hellacious issues out here in the middle of corn country today with my bandwidth or something. James, sorry for the drop there. I'm glad you're back. What do you think about
That's no
the first
problem.
song?
Yeah, just to say that I thought that the track was quite good. I don't think that there are any problems with the foundations of it musically. Nothing too major anyway. I think it would be a good track for the artist to develop more and work on. So it definitely still sounds like a guide track or demo. I think that there needs to be a little bit more practice on some of the guitar parts. The ideas are good. The vocals were too low, and the tuning was quite out for my my ears, unfortunately. But that's something that can be rectified if and when it's redone. So not bad at all. Good start.
All right. Well, thank you very much, James. I appreciate your thoughts as well. The name of this song for everybody, it's called Freedom Boulevard, and it's by a group called Johnny Profane, and we appreciate their sending that track in to Music Scene Investigation. Of course, if you want your video or actual music heard on MSI, we may do video one of these days and make it work. I don't know. Anyway, all you have to do is go to musicsceneinvestigation.com and click on Submit a Song at the top of the page, and you too could have our panel critique and review your music. It's that simple, everybody. All right, gentlemen, we have 2 more songs to listen to, so let's get right to it. Song number 2 on the broadcast today is up. So here it is, everyone. Hope you enjoy it. This is track number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation. That's track number 2 on the broadcast today. And now we go over to Tommy to find out what he's thinking about this one. Tommy, what are you thinking about track number 2?
I think it's very, very interesting. I really like the tempo changes. I don't like the fact, the mix has a lot of problems. It's left heavy. The drum fills the drums are a little busy, but I like their sound. The vocals, got to come up. It needs, the last 32 bars sound like the start of a whole nother song, which could be as good as the rest of this. There's a whole lot of material here to work with. I think the lyric content should be, it seems rather dark. Maybe it's the way the gentleman's performing. I don't know. But this is the type of song when you change the tempos, they're tight, but they've got to be really tight when it starts to the groove. By the time they're really at the full groove, they're starting to slow down again. This would be one of those things where, you might want to edit in as they're going along, and then they can get better and better and play it live. But, with a few decent cuts and just, a good producer on this, and maybe a rewrite lyrically to make it work with the free flowing of the drums and the guitars. And also, I'm not a big fan of one side guitars. I either stick them at 2 or 9 and 3 o'clock or whatever. But hard pans should for one guitar. I just don't like it. It throws balance-wise. This mixes all out for me. But I really like the ideas, and I think if they got some a handle on it with a good producer, pick a direction, refine that groove and switches in it, it'd be a great tune.
All right.
And actually, the last part of it, write another song using that.
Okay. All right, Tommy. Thank you very much. Over to James Anderson from BigFish Media. James, track number 2, my good man. What do you think?
Well, that was a really good track, in my opinion. Very rhythmically interesting and definitely drew on a lot of interesting influences there. Could hear a bit of Black Sabbath with that guitar riff and a lot of indie stuff trying to shine through. I was quite keen on that. Vocals a bit low every now and then. As for the guitar panning, I think it worked in places. Mainly the introduction, I thought it was quite effective. But other than that, hard panning is probably not the best thing for the track. And that deviation at the end, as Tommy was saying, sounded like a different song. I think it sort of segued quite nicely there. I'm not sure what the vocal content was all about there, because it didn't really draw me in enough. Maybe that's down to the levels, but I thought that there was nice attention to detail in places, and definitely don't have too many negatives on this one. Just very, very few minor improvements need to be made in production, really. I think that's about all I have to say so far.
All right. I appreciate it, James. Thank you. Now over to Ian and his thoughts. Ian?
Yeah, I do like this track. I thought it was very reminiscent of the Jam, to be honest, especially his vocals. He had that sort of Paul Weller sort of Jam style thing going on, and I liked that a lot, actually. I don't mind the sort of segue into the sort of second section at the end there, sounding of a different song. It works for me. The bits did glue together. Were they relevant? Don't know. As James was saying, the vocal was a bit low. Would like to hear that come out a bit more and grab my attention. So lyrically, I didn't quite get all of it. But, I liked it. It worked for me. The stereo balance on the guitars was a distraction. I've got a feeling, and maybe the band will let me know if I'm right or not, because even if I'm not right, I am right. You know how it works.
Oh, yeah.
That this is a live recording. It sounds like this has maybe sort of been done in the studio with a very, very good live recording. And this is why you've got the sort of solo guitar parts, bits and pieces panned off to the left and right. But it does need a bit of stereo balancing going on there. It's quite distracting. Listening sort of one guitar in one ear and the sort of vocal set in the middle and other bits and pieces going on around it. So I would like to the production of the guitars a bit better from that point of view. But yeah, I do like this. It has got mixed issues. The vocals didn't do it come up. So did the backing vocals. There were some oohs and ahs going on in there towards the back end that was sort of there but not there. But yeah, I like the song, and it's very reminiscent of the Jam for me.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ian, as well. Now, the name of this song, it's called On Wheels, and it's by a group called Raggy Bones, and we appreciate Raggy Bones sending that track in to us. All right, gentlemen, after hearing Raggy Bones, I, of course, want to get your opinion on the third song of the day. So let's get down to it. This is song number 3 on today's Music Scene Investigation, everybody. Take a listen and let us know what you think. Here it is.
Birds of feather falling, dancing. Now prepare for all
That is song number 3 on the broadcast today. And we're going to start out this round with James. James, what do you think of track number 3? Let me make sure I got your audio on. So go ahead. Let me hear what your thoughts are.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I had 1 or 2 technical difficulties during the playback of that one, but I got most of it. I think it dropped out in the final minutes, so apologies if I've missed anything important. I was actually very impressed with that track. I was quite getting into it until it decided to cut out. Had me nodding and swaying along there. Definitely some problems within the mix. I found it to be a little bit muddy. Because there's a lot of stuff going on, I don't think there was enough room in the mix on an equalization point of view. I think that things needed to be separated out a little more. They were sort of, all the instruments are battling for space, and I think that's something that can be cleaned up in the mix, definitely. I thought that the guitars were a little bit dominant over the vocals as well, but apart from that, everything else sounded fairly proficient. The actual musicianship was good. I don't know if I can really comment on one of the 9 notes I made since I lost the track towards the end, but I felt like it wasn't really evolving a great deal. I could be totally wrong on that one, but please forgive me if that's not the case, because I think I may have missed out a small chunk there. Yeah, very nice tune though. I think that with better use of EQ and taking it to a good producer, that can definitely be enhanced quite a bit there. So I think that there's a lot of potential.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, James. Thank you very much for your thoughts there. Let's go over to Ian and find out what he thinks about this particular track. Ian?
Yeah, instrumental section sounds fantastic. Love the piano sound. I did feel that the Edge playing the guitar in the background there from U2 was a little bit too loud, but that was definitely sort of very dominant in the track. Drums sounded great. Bass was lovely. There's instrumental part of this track was pretty good. Then the vocals came in, and I was really let down. The vocal production on this is severely lacking. The reverb's too big. There's not enough compression. They're not sitting well at all. I couldn't understand a word the guy was saying. And the backing vocals, the layering of the backing vocals wasn't very tight either. So you had sort of vocals coming in at slightly different points, which was starting to clash and hurt my ears a little bit. Real shame, because I think there is a good track here. And as I said, with the instrumental production being so tight and slick, besides those guitars being a tad too loud, the vocal part of it really did let the rest of it down. I like the melody. Can't comment on the lyrics at all. I like the arrangement of the track, but with that vocal being in such a state, I feel quite let down by this.
All right. Well, I appreciate your thoughts on it, Ian. Over to Tom Chianti. Tommy, what do you think about this track?
I think we should put a Band-Aid on it so Ian won't be so disappointed. I agree with him on the instrumental side. I disagree on the piano. It was too affected, too edgy, and it disappears when you go to mono. And as we were talking about formats, a lot of these people are walking around with their phones or iPods or whatever. They only use one earpiece, and so that'll only be in mono, and they won't even know the piano's in there. I love, like James said, it did get you swinging and swaying. There was a lot of good feel and vibe going on. I think the vocals need, definitely more clarification, more TLC. The background, it sounded a little hooty. It's definitely out of the guy's range, whoever was doing the backgrounds. Maybe if they had someone who could sing a little higher, or some female backgrounds. And I think the arrangement is there. It just wasn't pieced together well enough to really make a statement. Just like the vocal was in and out. When you've got a piano, vocal, and guitars all fighting for a place, when you mix it, that just tells me there's certain ways of EQing them all where you can keep the vocal in the center and float the piano and guitars. Usually some engineers will just hard pan stuff to get the vocal heard and get everything out of the way. This, you could have brought everything in not as wide and just, compression, like Ian said, and EQ, like James said, play with it for a while. Sometimes I know you don't have that, but if you do, actually use every minute you can on production and playing it and mixing it. It is a little bit depressing because it is a really, like I said, I was swinging and swaying with it. It's catchy, and define the lyrics and the mix, and I think you got something.
All right, Tommy.
Would someone get Tommy a tramadol or me a plaster, please?
A what?
Tramadol.
What's that?
Drugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
medicine.
For the depression.
Oh, we see. I know Trey. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. All right, the name of this track, everyone, it is called, as we bring it up here, it's called Ascend, and it's by a group called Zenthesis, and we appreciate Zenthesis sending that track into Music Scene Investigation as well. All right, now we get to the point in the broadcast where our panel must decide on a song of the week, which will then move on to the Landar-sponsored area of our show we call the Hit List, which takes place on the second Wednesday of the month. We got another one coming up again very soon in about 3 weeks or so. So you make sure you tune in for that because we got a great prize from Landar.com. Mastering Made Easy, a 1-year full pro account for the winner of the Hit List. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to turn the floor over to you and let you decide, using whatever criteria you like, on a song of the week.
I'm going to jump straight in then. I'm going to go with track number 2. I feel that it is the best we have this week from the point of view of listenability and song-wise as well. So I love track number 2 for me, please.
All right.
And James and Tommy, what do you think?
Okay. Well, for me, it's a very close call. I'd say that track 2 and track 3 for me were both very listenable, but track 2 has the edge, definitely with the use of production. I think track 3 had 1 or 2 more issues that need addressing. So for me, it's track 2.
All right. Tommy, you are the non-tiebreaker vote of the night.
I am the not-so-significant guy here. Well, they are both, actually all of them, done right, done better, and they're all commercially viable. There are areas that would all, listen to each type of these music. Track 1's a little bit of Americana. I think track 2, I said, reminiscent of Kate Bush. And this last track, just because it is so tight, I'm going to go with track 3. They all, to me, need the same amount, or some of them need more work than others, but they all need some work. So just because they deserve it for what they, did put, I would go with number 3.
All right. Well, there you have it. A split decision, but a decision nonetheless. Track number 2 by Raggy Bones, called On Wheels, is our song of the week. And James, thank you very much for joining us this weekend. We really appreciate that.
That's no problem. Thanks, Rich. And it's been a pleasure being on the show, albeit we all look a bit pixelated, and that's probably not such a bad thing. But
Amen,
it's been
brother.
An absolute pleasure.
I've been told I have a face for radio. In fact, I was told that just before we went on the air today. So, yeah, I don't mind pixelated. Unfortunately, I think I'm the only one who didn't get really pixelated on the broadcast, which is a shame.
No, it's not, Rich. We all know that you've got a filter that you run across everyone else's video to make us look bad and your video look great.
Yeah, I wish, honestly, I wish that were the case, but it's not. Maybe one of these days it will be, Ian. Maybe I can figure out how to do that, and we'll see what happens.
Actually, our video quality has gotten much better at the tail end of the show, you devil, you.
I don't know why that is. It always seems, it's weird. It's really weird.
To protect the innocent.
It's corn country, folks. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone, but it's our version of it. It's really strange. Now, James,
Which
you got
is
to
the Wicker
promise.
Man.
You got to promise me one thing, James. When our government, the U.S. government, I used to work for them at one point, but when they come and want you to do more of those border crossing announcements, do me a favor. Let me know. I'll do one for you, and we can send it to them. It'll be great.
Excellent. I'll give you a call.
It'll be awesome. Trust me on this. All right, James, thanks once again. You can find James over at bigfishmedia.co.uk, and definitely want to check that place out because that's a really cool place. Went over there and looked around. It's a lot of cool stuff going on there.
And it's going to become a lot clearer soon because we're just having our website updated, so everything will be a lot easier to navigate.
I'll definitely want people to go over and check it out, and I'm going to check it out. I want to see what you guys are doing in the way of redefining your website and everything. That should be very cool.
And we've also got a really good promotional video that we did with quite a lot of our voice talent, showcasing what the client can do with us. So that's also worth checking out if you've got 5 minutes.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to that. Well, we certainly hope you come back and join us again very soon, James. Sooner the better, in my book.
I look forward to it.
All right.
Yeah, great. Sure. Come on. Let's move it.
Hey,
move
Tommy,
it.
we already played the music, so you can calm down now. It's all good, man.
No, thanks,
His
James.
meds are starting to kick in, everybody. Sorry, it's the way it happens. All right,
just
please.
to let you know.
Yes, Ian. Please tell us who.
We are joined by Rob Puricelli next week
The
on the
man-
show as our guest. And also, if you go and visit our hit list page and click on the Lander banners, you can get to try Lander mastering online for free. They'll give you 2 uncompressed WAV files for nothing just for clicking on our website. So go and do that now.
And of course, they can also, by going to our hit list page, clicking on the Landar banner, not only get those 2 free uncompressed files, but they can sign up for a free account over at landar.com and get 192 kilohertz compressed MP3 masters as well, right?
That's right.
They can get as many as
nothing.
those as they want for nothing.
They can indeed.
Absolutely free. All right, we're going to play Out Today with On Wheels by Raggy Bones, our Song of the Week selection. But before we do, I want to let everybody know, Ian just said it, Rob Puricelli next week. He's been out of the box on Twitter this week. If you haven't seen it, go to Twitter, follow him, read about it. And we'll see you all again next week. Right now, it's On Wheels here on Music Scene Investigation. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll talk to you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.